gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to dinner at Taskmaster House. So, what's for dinner, Task? That's what people want to. Pizza.
Pizza.
Is it cold or is it hot?
No, it's warm. We
It's
still got
warm.
electricity.
Okay, right. And actually, one of the questions tonight, and we'll get right into it. You're preparing for a hurricane, are you?
Yep. It's I'm not gonna get hit with the eye. That's gonna be further north, but you always get these bands and rain and wind and the gusts, so you gotta pull all the shit in and that type of stuff. Anything in the yard and all
Fun
that crap.
fun fact. A little bit of history on the Crypto Maniacs podcast. Taskmaster actually we went through a hurricane before, and Task was basically standing outside. I think he was holding his cell phone as high as he could to get reception, and we tried to do a show during a hurricane, which was fun.
Yeah, that was knocked the power out. So I had to try to do it on my phone. It didn't work, but we tried.
Dude, it's the dedication. That's what we want. We want to see the dedication, which you have.
We talk about no excuses, and it's like,
Dude, that's me. I mean, I literally I got a couple hours left to drive, but I was like, you know what? I got to pull over, got to do the show. Can't leave the good people in the Maniacs community waiting.
I got Sam's Cola, so everybody can see.
Very nice, Sam's Cola. So
and tokenized, it's soda. It's not beer.
I'm not in your country anymore. I'm back in Canada, so it was fun.
Did you take anybody I don't like with you?
No, but I definitely left all your coffee in America and all the awesome food that was at the truck stops. Exactly. Eliana said this show is sponsored by Sam's Cola. Yes, it is. Anyways, dude, we got a lot of questions. It was a busy day in the Q&A. You ready to dive in?
Sure.
Let's go. And I've even made it nighttime for them, the dark or dimmed or whatever, not daylight. They want it dark. So I care about your eyes, folks.
Now, if you scroll down, John, go. Scroll. Keep scrolling. No. Go back up. I can't see it.
What am I
somewhere you can press Threadcast and it'll do the automatic refresh.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, hit
that. That's fancy.
Yeah.
Look at Cal. This is what's cool about this, man. This is not a normal thing in social media. This is a exclusive.
Now it's like Discord. It'll automatically refresh every 5 seconds if somebody has it.
Very nice. Well, there you go. Bravo. I got to tune into the AMA today. They recorded it, did they?
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Cool. I'll have to dive in. Hello, Tokenized. Welcome. Let's get right into it. Nifty thoughts on NFTs being deemed securities by Gary Gensler. I saw that, and it's amazing how much this guy just wants to ruin everything. It's remarkable. My thoughts are that this guy he's a piece of work, and how can it be a security? I don't know.
Well, I used to think Gensler was out to ruin crypto, but I don't believe that anymore. My view now is Gensler wants to push it in the hands of Wall Street. He's a Goldman guy. I think he wants to push it into the hands of Wall Street institutions. Yeah, it's he filed suit against some firm because they sold their NFTs and he claimed they were selling unregistered securities. So, now they're moving into the NFT realm, and he's going to end up taking on the wrong fish, and the wrong fish is going to fight back, and they'll probably have egg on their face just like they did with Ripple, and now just like they did with Grayscale. I guess technically could some NFTs be securities? Yes. But are all NFT securities? No. I mean, if you produce a security for a game, is that I mean, it's a security. An NFT for a game, and you distribute it through the game. Is that a security? No, it's not. So, the key with NFTs, and it's part of the industry's problem. We engage in this stupid market bullshit that gets us in trouble. If you build utility on the NFTs, if you tie them to a game, that makes it much tougher to nail under securities laws. But if you just produce shit to sell and go raise a bunch of money by selling this shit into the market, Gensler's going to come after you. I mean, obviously, this is probably dating back 3 years, but that's why you got to think ahead.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, it's definitely all designed to get it out of our hands and into the hands of the elite. I said elite. Wow. There you go. Nomad Souls up. What do you think is going to be the sweet spot for paywalled content for the average content creator once only Leo's comes out?
What I don't what is sweet spot? What does that mean in terms of price?
Like pricing, I'm sure.
Oh,
It's and I get that it's out there. Obviously, OnlyFans is huge.
well,
The
what does Patreon charge?
you pick and choose. Well, they charge like 3% or something.
No, I mean, what is what do?
You can decide. You decide the pay
Oh,
levels.
okay,
So it can be a $5, $20,
gotcha,
$50. You
gotcha.
can
Okay.
decide. But
Substack the same thing.
I don't know. I'm not like I've never messed with Substack,
Okay.
but I think it's similar.
Okay.
I've had a few Patreon accounts and I've set it up to like 5, 10, 15, stuff like that. I might have got 2 sales on it, $5 a month. So I don't know. I mean, if you build the relationship with your audience and people feel like they're a part of something, there's no price that's out of reach for some people that are raving fans. But I still think the $5 to $10 is a sweet spot. I've built entire businesses on that price point between $5 to $10 a month. So that's what I would think. But
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. You start getting into 20, $30 a month. That gets a little steep. It depends on the content. Obviously, for cat picks, I don't know if people are going to throw 5, 10, $15 a month, but for financial stuff, they might. It's. I guess it depends on the content and what you're providing and what type of following you generate outside the paywall. I see a lot of people on YouTube promoting their Patreon channels, and they create a lot of videos and a lot of content for that. So that could, if you got a decent following, then you might have some more elasticity with your pricing. But I would say 5 to 10 probably is going to be the average for most people.
I actually subscribe to a couple guys Patreons to some content creators that I enjoy, and both of the tiers that I'm on is $5 a month. They do offer higher, but $5 a month.
See, now what's cool is hopefully, and I don't know a Nomad Soul, but hopefully it'll be 5 or 10 HBD a month. There's a use case for HBD, and people have HBD on Hive, who that's primarily who is probably going to be subscribing to this stuff, at least at the onset.
Yes, and HBD can be on subscriptions, so
yeah,
there's that too. Yep.
Yep.
Which we love. That's ATB. Tokenize is up. This is definitely targeting Taskmaster. What is your stance on gold? Do you have any?
No, I don't. And my stance on gold is very simple. It's a hedge. Having some gold as a hedge is fine. But gold as an investment has underperformed historically.
Yeah. It's store of value, would you say?
Well, not really, because it's susceptible to inflation just like anything else. So, I mean, you look at we had a 40-year high in the US CPI, and many CPIs around the world had the same price moves, over the last 3 years. And what did gold do? Gold was, down from a high of 2100 to now it's around 1900 or 1950. So you in effect lost there too. And the idea of gold as the Armageddon type situation.
Yeah, that's no food. Food is the
Yeah,
Armageddon.
food. That's when you're talking food, water, and bullets, because
Yeah,
that
exactly.
when you got civil unrest, it's food, water, and bullets. And by the way, that's the same blowback I have against people who say, well, an EMT attack or whatever they call it, the electromagnetic attack. Well, if somebody attacks the power grid,
EMP. Yes.
what?
Yes. EMP.
EMP, that's right. If somebody attacks the power grid and takes it out, your cryptocurrency won't work. Well, guess what? If they take out large sections of the power grid in the United States, you're not driving anywhere anyway because
Yeah, exactly.
you're out of gas. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what gas stations run on? Electricity.
Yeah. Crypto's the least of your worries then, guys.
Yeah. And, it's like, so, I mean, gold is a hedge. Nothing wrong with having a little bit of it. Nothing wrong. Now, that said, I will say gold coins, silver coins, collecting makes a lot of sense because now you're into a collectible and you get the right stuff there in terms of gold coins. You could really clean up.
Good point. Tokenize follows that up with what was the last new project you guys invested or considering investing in? Literally,
Leo.
Like it's. I wish I had something wittier to say, but like it's like before that it was Splinterlands. Before that, Hive and Steam. Like that, I don't have any sexy thing. Like I don't.
Yeah, I mean, John and I, we both have a little CyberX token, what's that, LVL. I mean, once in a while but I mean, John and I are pretty simple with this. I mean, we're stacking Leo, we're stacking Hive. I mean, it's you believe in stuff, you don't spread yourself too thin. And the shiny new toy, hey, the next thing coming down the road may be a major blockbuster, but it might also be a dud.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not a very sexy investor. Literally, Leo, Hive. That's about it. So, and Nomad Soul. Are there any plans for growing CTP and more involved in the Leovert? If so, how? If not, why? Be brutal. I'll be completely transparent. And Eliana's here, so she's going to be like, "Oh boy." We basically lost our developer for the foreseeable future, and there's no chance anytime soon that he's going to be coming back. So without a developer, you have plans. You have all sorts of plans. You got great plans. I got books filled with plans. I've got journals filled with plans. Without someone to implement those plans, you're kind of treading water to stay afloat. So the things that work really well right now with CTP is CTPX. That really works well. List Nerds has been a headache because it keeps breaking and we're trying to fix it and we don't have the dev to do it. The witness goes down, it screws up List Nerds. The witness goes, and this isn't list. The witness going down is not that's a Hive engine thing. They always do changes and stuff, and it messes up all of our stuff because it's built on layer 2. So we don't have the dev team to make anything new on CTP. So going forward, we were going to do two things. One, we were going to focus on CTPX just because that works, and we're still buying the CTP off the market, but that's very basic stuff. And the second thing was to figure ways to support Leo and figure ways to help Leo grow, not directly related to CTP, but what we wanted to do with the CTP Talk account with curation. We were going to curate a lot of Leo stuff. So right now, CTP, the development side of it is on pause because we don't have a developer. And it's, as anyone knows who's trying to build on the blockchain, without a developer, you're it's a pipe dream. So right now we're in survival mode still. We've been in survival mode, and it doesn't help with me being on the road a lot. But things that still work without even thinking about it. Index still works without thinking about it. CTBX works without thinking about it. So we're still on those. We're still working those. But as for new development and implementing new things, we don't have developers. So we're kind of at the mercy of, if our developer gets back and gets healthy, or if, someone says, hey. So not really the sexiest answer there either, but yeah. There you go. Hope that helped. Nomad, what is your stance on the whole grayscale issue? Is the ETF gonna get approved, or are we just being spoon-fed?
Well, I mean, what took place today was the judge basically told the SEC that that their reason for declining Grayscale's application was not sufficient, and they have to take a look at it again. Doesn't mean they'll approve it. I think what's even more interesting is coming up shortly, BlackRock's ETF period comes due. So it'll be very interesting if they approve BlackRock, which then, of course, that opens the floodgates. But I mean, it's just such bullshit. Everybody and their brother knows at some point they're going to approve it. So just freaking approve it. But Gensler being Gensler.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, if I was like, just knowing the way the world works now, 46 years on the planet, seeing the way things are, if I wasn't into crypto, I would totally say this is someone trying to screw normal people out of something that could potentially make them a little abnormal, meaning real wealth creation with crypto and being your own bank, and also, like, it's amazing how more people don't see this, and it should be more FOMO and less FUD, but it's just FUD. Every time you turn on the news, there's someone. Yeah. Anyways, that's my rant. I hope you enjoyed it. Is there insight into how crypto may work with X or Twitter just yet? It's a good question.
No, I mean, based upon the license that they got, it allows them to be a custodian. So, you're going to be able to, I would presume, there's the potential that it could be like a Coinbase. They can custody, they can set up exchange, they can set up payments with crypto, they can set up wallet systems. So that's what this license allows for. How it'll be structured on in terms of the app itself, I have no idea. I presume they're going to set up some type of wallet system.
Do you think that this is really kind of like we're always talking about decentralize this, decentralize that, but what crypto really needs is everyday people using it, spending it, the whole nine. So yeah, X is not going to be a decentralized exchange, but does everything need to be a decentralized exchange? Isn't that what we want? Don't we want companies buying and selling, allowing you to buy and sell using crypto? Isn't that what we want? Or do we want everything decentralized and call it a day?
Well, it's, the payments are going to be a piece of the puzzle. I don't know how big a piece. The big thing is it allows for custodian and exchange. It allows X basically. Now there may be other licenses required. They probably have to go through FINRA and stuff like that. But it basically allows them to operate the same as Coinbase. Does that help with adoption? Yeah, most likely. But at the end of the day, what happens if Elon kicks you off his network? It's the same thing as always happens. I mean, what happens if, okay, Elon going broke is a little difficult, but what happens if they bankrupt X? What happens to the stuff on the platform? It's now you're a creditor in a bankruptcy. Um, you know, it and by the way, this is just one piece, one more piece of the puzzle. This is the first of many, as I've said. I mean, you had all these people sitting there saying Elon's wrecking Twitter, Twitter's going out of business, all this stupid shit. And I said from the get go, he wants to be the largest financial institution in the world. That's his goal. And he had to go and apply for licenses. And he finally got the first one. There's going to be others. And, you know, they're going after a full blown financial network. So, you know, this is a big deal. Why they got crypto first, I just have a feeling it was when the approval process came through. Because I know he filed licenses to do stuff similar to PayPal. He's filed those licenses.
Yeah. Good point. Bradley's got a few questions, but he says, any advice on getting more viewers to my 3Speak videos beside keep showing up and keep doing them? I did my 930th today. This is where the Web 2 stuff is. This was always, my vision for Web 2 was to promote what I was doing on Web 3. But it comes down to building your audience. And this is something Task and I have talked about for years now. Like, where do you want to build your audience? It's really hard to build your audience on Twitter. It's really hard to build your audience on YouTube. It's a lot easier to build your audience on 3Speak. The problem is you'll have 50 people watch your video on 3Speak. You'll have 500 to 5,000 people watch your video on YouTube. So where do you want to put your attention? I think it comes down to this. It's audience building. And it's really easy to say that without, diving into, okay, well, the problems with the Web3 stuff is that the audience isn't there yet. And what comes first, the chicken and the egg type thing. I can't concern myself with what Twitter's algorithm is for what gets seen, the blue check mark or not. I can't concern myself about YouTube. I can do the best I can where is home. So home for me is on the blockchain. So I'll respond to my questions. I'll upvote the comments. I'll interact. I'll do the show with Task. I'll do my best to build the audience here for when the potential down the road. How you build it now, if you didn't build it with Web 2, I'm not sure what you're going to do. You could build your mailing list, send out an email blast when you have a new video up. You can promote it on Listeners even. Listeners still works, believe it or not. You can promote it on CTPX. You can use these tools that are there, but it all comes down, like I was saying, to audience building. You have to build your audience. You have to, develop the relationship with your viewers, with the people that read your comments and content. That's what matters. It's just the problem we're seeing on Hive is that the audience isn't here yet. The big audience, the big numbers. So don't concern yourself with the big numbers. Worry about what you got now and let it grow organically. That would be what I would do.
Yeah, I don't even pay attention to my views. I have no idea how many I get, and I don't care. It doesn't matter because I know it's embryonic compared to Web 2. Everything's embryonic. I mean, the threads I do compared to what's done on Twitter, the views are night and day. So, doesn't matter. It's build the audience and become a big fish and stand out. And that's what my goal is just to keep standing out. And as more people join Hive, as more people join Leo, I intend to be one of the people they have to come across and see because I keep showing up. And, so if my videos get 10 views a day, whatever, it's irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, and it's again what we talk about with this future thinking mindset. I'm not, like you said, it's 10 views, great, whatever. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried that what's going to happen in a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, and we've been saying this for years, but literally it takes years. Like we're not just saying it to sound cute. It's going to take years. We're not just saying it. Literally, it's going to take years.
Yeah, it's years. People. I don't know. People are just brain dead. They really are. It's Do you know how long it takes to build infrastructure? I mean, you were talking about John losing your debt. You know, how long did you sit there pulling your beard out, waiting for him to bring stuff to market to get the development done? It takes a long time, and it takes a long time, a lot longer when it's infrastructure, and that's not sexy, but that's crap. You got to get it right. And it's like even listening to Cal on these AMAs, everybody's impressed with Leo Cash. Well, Leo Cash is nothing. Leo Cash depends upon what's built on it. And like we got, like you were talking about the Threadcast. Now there's that button, and you can get auto refresh and reverse the order and all this good stuff. That speaks to Leo Cash. It took them a long time to build that. It's infrastructure. It's not sexy, but it has to be done. And cryptocurrency, crypto infrastructure is, again, that's embryonic. So this idea that we're anywhere near mass adoption level, it's just not. I mean, Hive doesn't even have a robust smart contract platform yet. That's how early it is.
Yep, good point. Wealth West is up. He's got a few questions. I'm curious about how the engagement and comments on Thread leaderboard works. I mean, does it only work for posts made on Leo Finance or every other community as well? I'm pretty sure it's just comments and upvotes through Leo Finance's front end.
Yeah, you can do it in a community. You can do a post in a community through the Leo Finance front end. But yeah, it's if you do a post through Hiveblog, it's not appearing on the leaderboard.
Right, and I've noticed too, if you upvote things, let's say on Peak D, that
doesn't count.
You have to use Leo Finance's front end for it to count.
Yeah, that's all it's monitoring. I mean, that's all the data they're pulling.
Yep. What is your take about the license to store, transfer, and exchange Bitcoin and digital assets for users on Twitter? So this was a kind of a follow-up question to what we talked about. It's funny when you were talking about this earlier. It reminded me something. It's a PayPal story. Go for a second here. Just bear with me here. So with PayPal, everyone knows that my account got shut down. Subscriptions were canceled, everything. But what people might not know is that I never kept a lot of money in PayPal. Rich Taylor is in the audience right now. He'll attest to this. This was something that me and Rich did 20 plus years ago. We never kept a lot of money in PayPal. Day one, I never kept a lot of money in PayPal. I always took it out. Every time I get money, I took it out. What they canceled was my account, my ability to get subscriptions. That's what hurt me. I didn't lose, I didn't have $100,000 in my PayPal account and they just seized it. I never had money in my PayPal account. I always withdrew it as soon as I got it in. I did that day one. I always did. Same thing with this X and Twitter thing. If I ever do use it, I'm not saying I'm going to, I'm never going to keep money in my wallet. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. If it's not your keys, not your wallet. Same type of thing with the PayPal thing. I never kept money in there. If this X thing goes on, digital assets, Bitcoin, whatever, it's going right to my cold storage wallet. I'm not going to keep it. So that's how I'm going to look at it. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, it's. I laugh when Novogratz is having to sue for 140 million over FTX. It's like, what kind of horse's ass are you keeping 140 million on FTX? But that's what these institutions do. That's what these people did. It's like, understand what the fuck counterparty risk means. Yes. Go to Leo Glossary, look up counterparty risk. I explain it. And Elon might be a benevolent dictator, but he's still a dictator. He still has the ability to whack your account. He still has the ability to take your assets. And maybe there will be laws in place that protect you and say, okay, they can't close your account and freeze your assets. But you know what? That'll only go into place after there's 50,000 people who get screwed. So,
someone who knows.
You better try. You better know who you're keeping your money with and what your protections are. And if it's digital assets, I don't know if there's anything in any country around the world that protects digital assets. In the United States and Canada, your savings account with a local bank is protected up to a certain limit. But I don't think there's anything that protects digital assets.
No,
So
not here.
you're crazy to keep anything significant on these platforms, in my opinion.
Bradley said, "Why does Threadcast blink? That's because of the new refresh. That's why it blinks."
Yep.
Ask Cal when evergreen content. Actually, I saw Nomad bring that up yesterday in a comment on Threads. Evergreen is not the priority for these guys. What I've read, it's really soon is the ad revenue, but the evergreen is coming down the road. It's not right away. That's what I read yesterday. Um, I don't know if there's anything to that, anything more, but I don't think it's immediate. So, Cal said, "What are your thoughts about X getting into crypto with their new license?" I mean, I I'm all for it. I think it's great, but just like you said, Task, don't keep your money on it. Don't keep your crypto on it. But the more people using this stuff, it's good. I'm all for it. But yeah, yeah. Is John in Canada or the U.S. tonight? No, sir. I am in the beautiful city of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. On my route home, I'll be home tomorrow. Get to see my family tomorrow after 3 weeks of being on the road. Very welcomed few days off. I'm not doing anything. I'll do the show, Thursday night show from home though. So, but not very exciting. Next couple of days for me. When we get Hive bonds, do you think it will bring investors from outside of Hive? It's a good question.
Well, again, it's like anything else. All this is meant to supplement what's here for the people here. Will people be drawn in initially for high bonds? Probably not. But when you start to, and of course, this is presuming that there's lending platforms and stuff like that built out. Now you're starting to offer financial services, decentralized financial services, presuming they're decentralized and built on, layer two decentralized node systems, which like Speak and BSC are working on. So we'll go under the presumption that's the case. You're dealing with true DeFi, and that's something we really haven't seen. So yes, I think this will be a major boon for Hive. Um, but again, it's like anything else. The way I see Hive is it's like the petals on a flower. The more that we have opening up, the more that's offered, the more this thing keeps growing. And it starts with the people who are here. And when every new person has, instead of two options, has 10 options, that's what we want. And so you get people coming in from gaming, you get people coming in from threads, you get people coming in for long form content, you get people coming in for videos, you get all these different tentacles going out there and pulling people in. And people start to realize there's a financial epicenter here. That's the other thing that Elon's doing. This move today was showing that everything that we talked about, the merging of social media and finance, is underway. It's underway. Twitter, X, whatever it's called, X, is going to be a financial network. Social media is a part of a financial network. That's the way we have to look at Hive. That's the way we have to look at Leo. And that's what people are going to be conditioned for. The difference is, and just like on Twitter, he's saying, hey, you come here and your activity, you can get rewarded. And people on Threads, somebody was talking about, well, this is what the highest earners are making. And I just said, don't compare the highest earners. Compare what is the average person making on Twitter versus what's the average person making on Hive. That's the difference. But once these people have these assets, what do? Now you start building other financial services that people can take advantage of. And guess what? Word will get out then when you have people making bank, because people follow where the money goes.
Yeah, they do. That's a really good point. Bradley wanted to know what's causing Bitcoin to go up today. Well, I'm sure it's the news.
I think it was GBTC that got everybody excited.
Yeah. dude. Like,
It'll go down
you know what?
tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, can't get too excited about the price of this stuff because it goes up and down all the time. Like, it's, I don't know. So, I want to know if Task is going to be safe and sound during the hurricane.
Yeah, I'm not going to get hit but with like tropical storm, but you get gusts.
Little dusting, right?
Well, I mean, you get. It's not. I don't think where I am will be sustained winds of 75 miles an hour, but you get 60, 70-mile-an-hour gusts, and you know,
Right.
getting them frequently. That's a problem, and that's why, the preparations. First off, is you always got to prepare that the power could be knocked out because transformers go easy anyway. But you got to pull in the garbage cans because if not, I mean, a 60-mile-an-hour, 75-mile-an-hour gust of a garbage can could pick it up and send it flying. And tree limbs could come down, and if you got brush and that type of stuff can be moved. But I'm high enough up where I am right now that storm surge isn't a problem and flooding isn't really a problem. But that's the big thing with hurricanes is flooding.
Flooding, yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude, short and sweet. You're eating cold pizza, and I'm on my way home. But the big news is that Thursday, we'll be able to do this nice show, this beautiful show from the comfort of my home. I will not be on the road, which is the first time in 3 weeks. So you guys won't have the fans in the background. I'll have actually good microphone and everything. So there's always that to look forward to. And hopefully Task gets through the storm.
Yeah, it'll be gone by Thursday. Hope I got power.
Yeah. Well, you can always go and wave your cell phone in the sky again and try to pick up cell signals. No?
Yeah, probably.
There you go. Guys, thank you for making the show a lot of fun. Appreciate the questions. As always, we got everyone upvoted on Threads, so be sure to ask your questions on Thursday. We will dive into them. Until then, we will see you guys. Be good to each other, and buy Bitcoin. I don't know. What do crypto people say? HODL? Sure. Okay. Toodles.